All right, we're recording. Um, Last video I finished page 9. This is going to be page 10. I've been spending the last couple hours drawing it and working out at least where the figures are. And I think this is the last page I actually came up with, this last one, which is just going to be a shot of the jungle and have some sort of ending text on there. We get to see what happens to the sorceress. And I haven't completely finished this figure right here, but I'm not too far away. And I've got to do this figure as well. Oops, I didn't mean to rephrase the whole thing. It's important to get your sizes, like the size, proportions and all that stuff right. Um, a lot of times I just kind of draw by feel and then I have to correct it later. It's like, oh, that arm was too long, and so on. Now in digital, you can kind of get away with that. Um, Actually, I don't like her arm up over here. This is what I mean by preliminary drawings. If you've got this arm, this leg forward, this arm can be forward. So you should put the other one back, and I think I even had it kind of in there like that. So this one's Nala. Amani's still unconscious. But, let's go. They're getting out of there. Um, wonder if I can do the faces there. Tarzan's pretty easy because he's got just long hair. But I think I might have made his neck too long. Maybe not. I don't know. The thing about necks is you want to. One instinct is to not make the neck at all. You just change the angle so the head is sitting directly on the shoulders. A lot of people do that, and it doesn't look good. It's an obvious noob mistake. But the other one is making the neck too long, which I just did. All right. Trying to avoid a noob mistake myself. So these are all pencils, so potentially these all go away anyways. When I start inking, I just leave the pencil behind and I just go by what I want. Now, what I could do is push this leg forward. I kind of like where I've got it. I did this sort of where I put them both like this. And then I could even, once again, foreground them up a little bit more. I don't know. I'm dangerously close to repeating myself as far as the sizes of the figures. Um, it's also just a good idea to have at least one full-size figure on every page. That was something I got from a class Well, which way is he going? Should he be looking? Should he be looking this way or looking this way? I should have his foot maybe go in the right direction. No, I think we're just gonna. We can probably. That's even better. Let's do it like this. Let's go a little bit more extreme on the stance. And I could push Nala a little bit further away. So we could create some depth, in the caves. All right, well, let's do some panel borders and we'll call it a day. The weekend's coming, so that's a good thing. And it's a 3-day weekend. I nearly took a 4-day weekend. I got a half day today, but I used it to take a long nap, which I kind of needed. Let's see. You go until you can't go, you know what I'm saying? All right. If I reduce my eraser in size. I got a cool shipment from Jet Pens. I'll show you what I got. Good stuff. I got an Oni Furutoga. This is a 0.5 mechanical pencil. This is an ergonomic mechanical pencil with rotating lead, and it's on like a little spring-loaded mechanism. So there's the spring right there. I don't know if you can see it. That'll keep it from ever breaking. So it's an unbreakable mechanical. Well, the lead's unbreakable unless you're like try and break it. And just because they were kind of inexpensive, I also got a spare. So there's another one. It's still in the box. And then I also got a customizable multi-pen. I got 2 of them. And these are really cool. So you can, these are by Colotech, and you can get, or Colito. And you get to choose like what colors you want, or different components. Like this is actually a pencil. So it's got a pencil component, and then a black pen, and then a white pen. And I've got sort of this, I think this was called pastel orange. And they still have the gel tip on there because I haven't taken that off yet. But with the idea that maybe I could sketch in pencil and then switch to black, and I could outline it, and I could switch to orange for toning, and then I could switch to white for highlights, and it would all be on the same pen. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Although it is very hard for me to drop my Duo, which is my Kawiko pencil. So I have a Kawiko lead holder and the Kawiko mechanical pencil. These work great. And then I also got another lead holder that I saw on sale, but I haven't used it yet. Oh, here it is, right here. It's a Kohinoor with a really thick lead on there. So, super thick. And, I don't know, we'll try all that stuff out. Anyway. How are we doing on panel borders? By putting that last panel border in, whoops, I've pretty much guaranteed the end of the comic. We've brought the story to an end. Sorceress is defeated. And Tarzan and Nala have rescued Amani. And that's the end. I had like an alternate idea of them getting caught up in this ritual vortex, like the magical vortex that the sorceress was trying to create, and then having to fight some actual monsters or something. But I eventually decided that was a little too much for what I want to do. Plus, I want to get started on my other comic. Let's try it right here. Okay. Now, do I see anything out of place? I think it looks okay. I'm reducing the pencil opacity, and we're going to just go ahead and rename this pencils. And then we're going to create a new layer, ink, and there we go. And we're off to the races. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start with Sinky ink. Oh, the original draft of this page, when I was coming up with it, I had Tarzan with amnesia for a second, and he has to be like kind of helped out by Nala here. Um, and I eventually decided that it kind of takes away too much of Tarzan's agency to have him have the amnesia, and basically she does the real heroic act, and Tarzan is just a standby. And so I decided not to go with that. I don't like his teeth there. That was a good way to do it. How about that? Something like that. Yeah, I might have to adjust it still. There we go. How does it start? I don't like this way his mouth was looking, though. One will look a little bit more confused. I can, there's some things I can do with like screens and things. Just not liking how his mouth turns out. This is why Well, not in a good. What's missing? What's too big? What's in the wrong place? Is the eye in the wrong place? What if we Mr. Potato headed that around a little bit? One thing that's a problem, and I didn't want to do the eyes like that either. Made that stick out too far. I'm like one step away from just going out and getting the photo reference and saying, okay, well, what is it supposed to look like? I do think his nose is a bit too big. The eye shape is weird. A little bit better. I think when you draw these eyes and you put, the symbol, the universal symbol of eye, you run the risk of turning them into these sort of googly-eyed things when actually, when you're trying to. What could he be looking? Down? Let's take a look at it with the pencils again. I think it's just a little too extreme. And this under eye shape is weird. It's close enough where I'm going. Once Tarzan's hair is not flying in the breeze here because he's not in action. He's not in motion. I think what I've done is I've made his eyes a little too large, or Yeah, that's good. That one, he looks confused here, which is what I wanted. I'm free. And then his hand is here. Scratching your head is the universal sign of confusion. At least in my view. I wonder if it's the other eye that's throwing me off. The only thing I hadn't really changed. Yeah, that seems to work out okay, actually. That's the process. Okay. I think I went a little too hard in front. I gotta figure out how to draw his lats again, but that's all right. Maybe something like that. Darling, don't you go. Cut your hair. All right. We're starting to get somewhere. You can see like how I'm treating the pencils. I don't consider them the definitive guide of where I'm going to put my eventual marks. I'm using them as more of a placeline guide, and often that means that you're going to do a lot of working out of things on the page. Maybe when I mature a little bit more as an artist, I'll get better at figuring that stuff out. I'm not there yet, that's for sure. Okay. Then my eraser strokes are a bit random, so let's see if we can get them in there. I wonder if I got his forehead too big. Oh, I think this is a good position for the hand. I think we're in the right place, right? Oh, I didn't. Took me long enough, right? His ear would be like right back here, so we can put like just a hint of an ear. I think it did go a little too hard. on this line. Man, that's not hard enough. So let's go ahead and fix that line. Ooh. Well, it is in line with the other art in here. I think we're good. Now we've still got to do like a hatching and shading layer on Tarzan here, but I think we're almost ready to get started on the other figure in here on this panel. A little too hard there. Boom. I think there is a muscle that comes out there. I might have to look it up. Make sure I'm not just imagining it. I think that muscle goes up like that. All right. We have kicked off officially page 10, the final page in our Tarzan story. It's a short story. Oh, and I can tell I've got a lot of work to do on Nala here. I've got fire to do over here, so the fire is gonna be the light, so it's definitely gonna be, a shading layer that goes that way, that direction. I'll have to really think about it. And we're good to go. All right, talk to you later. Please like, follow, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Tarzan. And then we'll eventually get kicked off on Centaur, which I might give a different name. It doesn't have to focus on just one character. And we'll have to figure out, it's a big story. If we have a big story for Centaur, I'm already thinking about this. What is the lens? Where do we start our version of the story? Because we could tell the story any number of different ways. We could start with the matriarch's funeral, or we could start with maybe one of the murders of the other sisters, right? It would make sense. Maybe we start right with the ship crash landed. So we'll see what happens. All right. Lots of things to think about. Please like, follow, and comment and share and do all those things, and I will talk to you later.